Hi guys, and welcome to another F1 Clash video with myself, Azza WF1. And this week we are bringing you another video of the Blue Flags #1 club insight. We are now on episode 3, and if you haven't, do check out the other episodes where we talk about GPs and we also talk about what boosts to use on which track. I hope you're enjoying the episodes. It seems to get a lot of interaction from you guys and a lot of comments of how good the content helps you and makes you realise how blue flags do work from a day-to-day basis. So if you haven't already, do make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and then you can get notified every time I do upload a new video. Bringing on to this week's video, we have our episode 3 of the #1 Club's Insight, and this week we are going to be looking at Track Them. Now, if you haven't worked out by the name, you are now going to know that Track Them means tracking your opponent's clubs and working out where you are currently against them. So instead of waiting every month and hoping that you somehow come out #1, this is different. This is exactly what blue flags do to make sure they know exactly what position they are in coming towards the end of the month. So let's kickstart into that one and let's bring up the first bit of details that you might want to see. So then, the first graph you're going to see is what blue flags started to put together to monitor their opponents. Now, in this video, you can see that the opponent is BSRT, so they are Black Sails. So this was our main rival at one point for first and second place in the club leaderboards. Now, this has started to be tracked from the 5th of August, as I'll work out, it's not the American version for me. So the 5th of August, this is where it started, and you can see at the very start we were sort of 54.6k reputation points down. Now, Black Sails started with a really good grind from Monday to Friday, or even to Saturday. They were grinding really well, and it was actually hard for us to keep up. You can see 73k down, 74. We clawed some back to 47. We ended up being on the 8th. Oh, let me get me words out. 14th of August. You can see that we are something like 132.5k back. And then we get to the GP and we specialise ourselves. We still are a great grinding team, but we have some very, very strong GP players. And that shows already. So 14th of August, we're 132.5k down. Coming on the 15th of August, 74k. So we sort of half the deficit just on that one weekend there. Now, that Black Sails grind commenced all the way through that following week. And you can see all the way up to the 20th of August, blue flags found ourselves 172.6k. And you might think at that point, you can't get that back. And that's where the turning point was for blue flags. And on that weekend event, it was the McLaren Team Series event, so 10% boost for Ricciardo and Norris. And we managed to claw back 172.6k. and add on an extra 72. So looking at 250k rep points in one weekend. And that really broke sort of Black Sails' grind, let's say, because you can see over the next few days, 72.8k, 4 days later, was only down to 23. And all the way through sort of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was only 5k, and that was a 5k then advantage to ourselves. So really, Black Sails for that monthly period have put so much work in that they got to the end of the month and they just couldn't break blue flags. Now, look at what happened then. It seemed to be that blue flags have really gone strong with their GP, and from being in blue flags, I know we are insanely good at GPs. And you can see on that one weekend then, on the 29th of August, 30th of August, we took a 292 grand. So we took another 86,000 rep points over the opponent. And that's how we finished for that month. And that was a massive month for us, because at one point it looked like for over half the month we weren't going to get back past Black Sails. but with some insanely good GP scoring and performances, we were able to really bridge that gap and push Black Sails aside. And that's a great way of tracking your opponent as well. That's why we needed to track. It's no good not knowing what you got to do and then you just become second. If you want to be the number one club, you've got to go out and really go above and beyond and score as many points as you can get. Now, after pushing Black Sails aside in the month of August, we then found ourselves now in September, and a new, old club, but new, reformed, coming at us strong is Hunters. Now, this is a group that we are taking very close watching. We will obviously still see what Black Sails do because they are a very close competitor to ours, and fair play to them, they've given us a great go. But Hunters is the one that we're really, truly focusing on at the moment. And you can see at the start of when we track this, 5th of September, we're 53.9k in advantage. Hunters are massive grinders. So similar to Black Sails, but probably on just a bit more of a grind at the moment. And you can see already after 2 days of tracking it on the 8th of September, we're already 171.5k down. And that went all the way up to the 11th of September, where we found ourselves 309.2k behind Hunters. Now, that's a massive, massive gap. You've seen from the last graph, we sort of were able to get 270,000 on a weekend, 240,000 on a weekend, and really bring them rep points back into Blue Flags. And then we get to Sunday. So you can see that big, massive change in scoring from 309.2 behind down to 15.1. And that's because our GP positions and GP performances are so strong. I can't reiterate that enough. We have such good planning by the Blue Flags team, great strategy, great hard work, great togetherness that able to pull such gaps down to a lot shorter. So that 309.2k decreased to 15.1. And that's a difference of sort of 290 grand. Moving on to this week then, and we have completed the Ferrari Team Series event. And first of all, a big shout out to Hunters Elite because they are putting on some serious graft this exhibition. As you can see, we got it back to 15.1k deficit last Monday. And you can see the grind that Hunters Elite have put in. They've gone 102k, 195, 200. They're getting 50 to 100k a day on us at the moment in terms of grind. All the way out to 418k. And Blue Flags, we pride ourselves on our GP. We might not be able to keep up with the grind at the minute, but by God, we're giving it a massive go. And we didn't have the best of weekends for GP, and that sort of graph you can see it went from 418.1k to 430.1k, so there's another 12k growth on that. So Blue Flags, we have won exhibition 13 and 14. 15 is going to be very tough to hang on to Hunters Elite because first we have to catch them, and that's finding very tough. But this is what Blue Flags do. Blue Flags track their opponents each exhibition, each day, each week, so they know exactly where they are. We don't wait until the end of the month and hope that we've beat anyone else in the other leagues. We do monitor and track them to see what we need to do. Now, before I end this video, after showing you what your club could also do with these flags and graphs that they've got, one thing to remember is us as Blue Flags are not moaning at all about BSRT or Hunters Elite grind. We literally say fair play. We respect the work that everybody is putting in and ultimately putting into this big game, because if it wasn't for the likes of BSRT, Blue Flags, Hunters Elite competing against each other, there wouldn't be this close tight battle at the top. So first, that's the main thing to call out, is it's not a moan from us. It is a massive respect to Hunters Elite and BSRT for their grind and their grafting GPs as well. Okay, but Blue Flags will never give up. We will keep going and we will fight to the very end and come back stronger. That's all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. The graphs are sideways, I do know that, but if I do them the iPhone way, you're not going to see them. So do let me know if you feel that does work, or if you would like to see them the other way. Okay, remember, like, subscribe and comment on the videos, and I will catch you for episode 4 very shortly.